brand Nubians opened up the door like no other before.
Yeah, head crack, you smoke up that stack in a minute, you was...
Every song, there's some witty wordplay going on.
Sister, there's no need in speeding. She was doing ways before she started bleeding.
There's some great stories going on.
I seen it time before, you're not original. Just a sick, mixed up individual.
They was like on that conscious black power, black empowerment kind of level.
You gotta love me or leave me alone. Leave me alone. You gotta love me or leave me alone. You gotta love me.
Together as a three-man group, they were unparalleled.
People thought they were homophobic. They almost got blacklisted.
Pooh Bah really wanted to be a solo artist at times.
This dude was coming at 2 o'clock, taking the money and leaving.
I'm not riding around for you to make 98% of the money, and I'm doing all the work.
I'm seeing wild police shooting up the block. I'm like, damn, they looking for somebody.
The writing was on the wall, and the end was near.
Unparalleled, untold, unsung. The story of Brand Nubian. In 1990, Brand Nubian dropped one of hip-hop's quintessential conscious albums.
A drug-controlled substance contained in a vial. Said about a devil as he looks and he smiles.
When that One For All album dropped, everybody was playing it.
The solution, knowledge of self, to better ourselves.
It was like black love, black power, black intelligence.
The devil still causing trouble amongst the righteous people.
Over dope beats.
Brand Nubian, originally composed of Grand Poobah, Sadat X, Lord Jamar, and DJ Alamo. Shook up the 90s with slick beats, creative samples, and in-your-face lyrics. Grounded in the 5% nation.
Now who's the trick? Cause I'm not a up. No. I always do the selling. If I gotta do the swelling, my neck used to be smelling. Your rectum, say you learn. Brand Nubian.
You didn't really hear 5% message the way they put it.
They wanted out the style that was made from my mom and my dad when I was young. I used to run with a notepad.
Somehow they found the right edge between like conscious and street.
There's a lot of people that have a message, but they don't connect on a soul level, on a musical level. Brand Nubian sound was soulful.
But at times, their bold messages caused controversy that almost kept their music from being played.
This was pro-black, militant, in-your-face, music. It made you uncomfortable.
This messaging was challenging for those who weren't a part of the community, and it was just downright scary.
And beef within the group nearly tore them apart, just as soon as they began.
The band was not easy to deal with and scared and alienated people who worked at the label.
I guess Pooh Bah felt that him being the founder of the group, that he should be allowed more privileges.
My objective was to get them in the game. I did that. I ain't had to struggle or nothing.
I'm not gonna just point at one person, but we've all done certain things within the family made us our own worst enemy.
Brand Nubian's roots began in New Rochelle, New York, a suburban community 20 minutes away from the Bronx.
New Rochelle is a diverse kind of city, It's definitely more laid back than living in the city.
Like the rest of New York, it also had a budding hip-hop scene in the 80s, and at the center of it was a local MC, Maxwell Dixon, known as Grand Poobah. Raised in the Hartley houses, his family was known for their ties to the black nationalist movement of the 60s and 70s.
We grew up in the struggle, quote unquote. On the weekends, they would have classes basically in the projects where we were taught, our history.
There's a street here, it was called Brook Street. We galvanized all the people in the community and renamed Brook Street after Malcolm X. Just like New York never sleeps, the struggle never sleeps.
From an early age, Grand Poobah was drawn to another movement, hip-hop. Inspired by pioneering artists like the Cold Crush Brothers, he became a DJ and then an MC by age 13.
He was one of the few rappers that everybody knew. Whatever party we went to, there was a mic, we was making sure he got on it.
By 19, Grand Poobah had formed a group called Masters of Ceremony. Their debut album, released in 1988, featured a party anthem called Sexy.
Grand Poobah, won't you tell them why? Hey, pretty mama, you look sweet. I mean, you're the type of girl that I've been dying to meet. Beautiful in a day in July or May. Now one looking, I'm hooking, you make me say.
So if you lived in New York growing up, you watched Video Music Box religiously. And that was a big group that you watched. And Poobah's voice was the golden voice.
Remember the day, girl, when I first met you, thinking up ideas on how I can get you.
It was that smooth kind of uptown rap, and then Baron, who gave like a reggae kind of vibe to it, and it was a big song.
Sexy is the type of girl you seem to be. Crazy, baby dollars, but you're driving me.
Sexy became a hit in the New York area. But the group would later dissolve after just one album. Meanwhile, an MC from another part of town was also gaining attention.
I'm standing in front of my childhood residence. I used to cut school every day, damn near in junior high school, come home to DJ.
Born Lorenzo Di Chalice, Lord Jamar was a DJ by age 12 and formed a crew called KD and the Ever-Loving Three.
KD stands for Kid Disco, that's right. Go ahead and laugh, but that was a fly name back then, okay? Then at some point it seemed like the DJ got kicked to the back. So my egotisticalness at the time was like, oh, that. You know, you're not gonna put Baby in the corner. And just started rocking with the MC.
This was like one of my first rhymes I ever wrote. I'm the kid magic with the magical touch. Young ladies, you know, yeah, I'm just too much. With my magical wand, I could cast a spell, cut circles round Flash, and make them go to hell. I'm a magician on the mic that rocks the house right, so all your MCs just wanna bite. That's all I remember.
Although raised as a Jehovah's Witness, Lord Jamar grew interested in the teachings of the 5% Nation, an offshoot of the Nation of Islam.
He met a few people as he was younger that kind of put him on the path towards the 5% Nation. He actually took to that stuff very early, earlier than a lot of people might.
Nearby, another MC was also making his mark, Sadat X. Born Derek Murphy in the Bronx, he moved to New Rochelle at age 8, and at first had dreams outside of music.
My parents both went to Shaw University. My father played basketball. He's a member of the Hall of Fame down there. So, like, that was probably my first love. Before even hip-hop, it was probably basketball.
Sadat briefly played ball in college while dabbling in another area.
I was playing ball, hustling, running back and forth on that Amtrak train. Seemed like everybody was doing it and getting money. He just was young, and it just seemed like the thing to do at the time.
Hustling part-time, Sadat's main focus was music. Known then as Derek X, he crossed paths with Lord Jamar during a rhyme cipher at the library.
He didn't necessarily look like an MC to me, like, you know what I mean? Like, you had glasses on and, you know. But when he opened his mouth and the texture of his voice and the he was saying, I was like, whoa.
I just waited and you waited, now you finally came. Last but not least, you called out my name. Record after record, then rhyme after rhyme. The people want to know my zodiac sign. My name is D-Rock or Derek X. Something, 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 man, I'm trying to get checks. That's what that was. That was just my Derek X.
Lord Jamar and Sadat X soon attracted attention from Grand Poobah.
Poobah took an interest in us, and he started trying to produce us.
Poobah was my mentor. He showed me, you know, how to have that producer's ear.
While seeking solo deals for Lord Jamar and Sadat, Grand Poobah was being courted by record exec Dante Ross, who was about to join Elektra Records.
Initially, I was very interested in Grand Poobah as a solo artist. I was enamored by his talent.
I brought Sadat and Jamar stuff to him. He was like, yeah, it ain't cool, you know, but I still want to sign you, just, you know. So I was like, yo, let's just do joints together. You know, I knew if I incorporated them with me, they would get on and they would get a deal.
After hearing a demo they had recorded together, Dante decided to sign them as a group to Elektra. With Sadat's childhood friend, DJ Alamo, on board, they selected a name that reflected their musical vision.
The group was formed to educate and elevate the black community. We've been stigmatized as niggas and bitches and hoes, and we just wanted to be the antichrist to that.
Somehow Nubian gets thrown in the mix. I was like, this could be something that instills pride in black people. And then play on words, brand new, brand Nubian.
In 1989, Brand Nubian dropped a party jam called Feels So Good.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a test. Now rule is a town where we rest. If you were wondering, well, the ballistics finally in. Once again, Brand Nubian. You and your girl can't see the 3 bars. Now she stays. Kick the funk lyrics, throw it down to her PJs. Lay on the floor and do work in 3 ways. After the party, guess what? Hey, yo, she still pays.
That makes you feel so good. Like it's that uppity up, you know, raw hip hop. If you heard it in the club back then, you just want to jump on the dance floor.
I do my thing like B.B. King. My microphone is named Lucille. Throw a dip in my hip, so they call me extra ill. Making but with my crew, times I get blazed. Jump on the floor and kick a new dance craze.
I remember I didn't really want to dance in the video, but I remember Pooh, if you want to be big, this is what you got to do. You got to dance. And I wasn't no dancing dude like that, but we did it. It was looking wild.
Lord Jamal got off step 2. Girl, scope this. Like in astrology, they ain't argue. That's because I'm God. But don't look too hard in the sun, because you might get done. My number 7. That's 6 plus 1.
I could really relate to them the way they were dressed in the video. They seemed like they were smart, and they seemed like they could knuckle up and whoop your ass if they had to.
Too hot to handle. When I was young, I used to vandal. Giving girls a comfort like a foot in a sandal. Always help another brother, never running scandals. And if I hit skid, well, I'll just panhandle.
While it didn't chart, the video was put into rotation from New York to Oakland. But it was their next single that would truly make an impression.
You got a black man in a white face portraying him as the devil. He said, they're not gonna play that.
I just want someone that I can talk to. I'll take you just the way you are.
In the late 80s, a new crop of hip-hop artists were coming to the forefront with powerful messages tied to a re-emerging black nationalist movement, including Brand Nubian.
In those days, they were part of a movement that included Public Enemy and Poor Righteous Teachers, X-Clan, different groups like that.
We're talking about Africa, we're talking about building, we're talking about Malcolm X. It was an explanation of how we felt looking at our political situation.
The group's debut album, One for All, was released in December of 1990. Much of their music was steeped in the philosophies of the 5% Nation, a movement that came out of the Nation of Islam in the 60s. By now, all 3 MCs were 5%ers.
The 5% Nation basically
Allah, God, Islam, as I proceed to civilize the uncivilized. Word of wisdom to the groove from the wise. I guess I'm like the verbalizer, for the fact of moving black with
The Asiatic black man is a dog spelled backwards. The maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, father civilization, God of the universe. Just that piece told you everything that the 5% Nation, the Nation of God's Earth is about.
Slain of those who fought for what was right. Slayed of those who fell victim to the fight. A drug-controlled substance contained in a vial. Said about a devil as he looks and he smiles. Good at the game of tricknology, but I have knowledge of myself. You're not fooling me.
The video, directed by Fab Five Freddy, featured a visual representation of the 10% that didn't sit well with MTV.
He comes with this treatment. The black man is in white face with a white blonde wig. He even had some horns. basically, throughout the video, coaxing people to do the wrong things. Yes, we were trying to say the white man is the devil. But we were also trying to say that devil really starts with you. That's why it was a black man in whiteface.
Red drugs in our community, that ain't right. Can't even get a job, that ain't right. Poisoning our baby, that ain't right. Lying who is God, that ain't right.
Fab Five Freddy was the host of Yo MTV Raps, so you think the video's gonna fly, it got banned.
MTV agreed to play it if the images of the devil were removed. Although the group protested, Elektra complied.
You're seeing videos with chicks butt naked, dudes shooting guns, killing each other. That showed me that as long as we're doing all that negative, harmful stuff to ourselves, it's all good.
Despite the controversy, or perhaps because of it, Wake Up shot to #5 on the rap charts.
I thought that might have been one of the things that would have stopped the group, like stopped our momentum. But if anything, it just added intrigue to it.
With the album picking up steam, Nubian followed up with a cautionary tale on the growing crack epidemic called Slow Down. And once again, the song was driven by a unique sample.
It was an Edie Brickell record. I just so happened to be looking at TV, and Edie Brickell came on with that song.
Hey, baby, your hips was getting big. Now you're getting thin, you don't care about your wig. Now, Wooly got a pair of my sneakers. Wonder where he got him, cause I hit him behind my speakers. Now give that to the crack man. You was fly once, now you're losing all your front. Started off right, only took a Wooly blunt. But now you get a stripe, graduated to the pipe. Took a long tour.
Those lyrics are really brilliant. There's this decline from this woman that used to be some really beautiful woman, and now she's out there selling herself just to get a high.
I knew this girl named Tropicana. She's always juicing, producing cash from a sexual task. She loves men that trick like Halloween and treat. You ain't paid, then your grade is incomplete.
Friends we known for years were dabbling in this stuff, and they weren't looking like the folk that we knew anymore. So yeah, Slow Down was definitely poignant for its time.
As the juice jingle from the hot young and single little stunt. A 40 in the blunt, that's what she really wants. But she'll spin your paper since you use it for your plastic. And if you swing the F, you better wear a prophylactic. Cause things are getting drastic. Slide up in the wrong one, you end up in the casket.
Slow Down peaked at #3 on the rap charts. Their album, One for All, received the coveted 5 mics in The Source.
At that time, to get 5 mics by The Source magazine was bigger than getting a Grammy.
We just wanted to do some real hip-hop, be respected in those circles. So to be doing all of that, it's a dream come true.
But cracks were already forming within the group.
Literally, we're holding it together with like gaffer's tape at the end of the record.
We got to go out to the crowd who's like, where's Booba?
Well, I'm just gonna say power grip. And once I say power grip, people have to take it how they take it.
In the early days, all the girls kind of gravitated to me and him.
Yeah, we was definitely...
So it was beautiful that we shared rooms, you know?
And you
got the twin beds, very close.
You got the clock with the table on it.
So you might be close enough to reach out and give your homie a pound.
Yeah, while it's going down.
While it's going down. We call that the power grip.
Power grip.
Okay?
Nubian's One for All became one of the year's most critically acclaimed hip-hop albums. For many, that was due in large part to the combination of 3 very distinct MCs.
Jamal might be the most conscious of the 3. Lyrics are on point, very serious.
X was so unorthodox, original style, you know what I mean? It was like poetry, it's like speaking and rap.
Pooh, he had these pop culture references, and he was kind of doing something no one else did at that time. He was at the top of the food chain as far as rappers.
They all brought together these different styles, and it meshed. It worked phenomenally.
And while promoting their album in 1991, they celebrated their success to the fullest.
I had never really up to that point been in a hotel that had a minibar. We look in the refrigerator and there's alcohol in it. We got one of the hotel tubs and filled that with ice and just dumped all the liquor in it.
We took everything, nuts, even alcohol we didn't drink. We wiped the bar clean. Needless to say, we had a hefty bill after the fact.
But it wasn't all good times. Trouble had been brewing behind the scenes, even while recording their debut. Much of it centered around the group's star, Grand Poobah.
A lot of it was Poobah really wanted to be a solo artist and made lots of solo records that ended up on the album. And it caused a lot of internal beef.
See, a lot of those songs he did, like nobody knew he was in the studio. They would just appear.
You gotta trust somebody who's been there and done that. I knew it had to be done.
I think at times he felt he was possibly superior to certain members of the group and wanted to be treated as such.
He knew there'd be per diem at the studio. He would come early and swipe all the food money and do his verse and break out.
This dude was coming at 2 o'clock, taking the money and leaving. When our session was at 5.
Yo, look, whoever got there first got the money. Everybody was getting a hustle, scam, whatever. They got it a couple of times after they caught on.
It became a race to the studio to see who could get there first to get it.
Soon, their problems spilled out on stage.
There's been like 5-hour late for Poobah. Like, Poobah has done some classic, like, Eddie Kane type. Like, you understand what I'm saying? At some point, he just stopped coming, period. We got to go out to the crowd who's like, where's Poobah? And we had to go through this over and over. Where's Poobah? Where's Poobah? Where's Poobah?
I remember we went somewhere where he didn't come with dude didn't want to pay us. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard to do the shows like that.
I felt I did my duty to help those brothers get to where they probably would have never got to if I didn't do it. So I felt, you know, now I want to do this.
So in 1992, Grand Poobah left Brand Nubian to launch his solo career.
Yeah.
Joined by DJ Alamo, he released his highly anticipated album, Real to Real.
I had the Brand Nubian template. You had your party records, you had your conscious records. It was a well-rounded album.
He led with a single called 360 Degrees, What Goes Around.
Here comes the Poobah, and you know I won't fake it. Usually bust records on getting butt naked. Made for the Benzie, drive against up skinsy, pump the tape, grab your gear, get with the Poobah frenzy.
There's so much character in his voice. When he talks, when he rhymes, you hear it. And then he holds on to words, something, oh, parlay.
Okay. What more could I say? Alamo, get the boom, and parlay.
His timing is exquisite.
Well, how low can you go? Call on Grand Poobah if you really need a pro, cause my stitch more rugged than G.I. Joe. Don't front, honey, act like you know.
When I use word samples,
Yeah. Nah.
I want the record to be my chorus. Almost like Gladys is in there singing that for me. I just love that element because it's so soulful.
Now, brothers want to diss because it's my turn to burn. My best advice for the brothers is to sit back and learn. I don't diss nobody to be somebody. I just like to kick the flavor to make the people party.
I felt like that was just one of his coming out songs, like regardless of what you heard with Brand Nubian, I'm doing me.
The real, yeah.
360 Degrees went straight to #1 on the rap charts. Just as Grand Poobah was enjoying his solo ride to the top, Sadat X and Lord Jamar were plotting their return.
You stand or you fall. And we decided we was gonna stand.
Heel figure on the top, knapsack on the back, that's just my flavor.
By the mid-90s, Grand Poobah was in demand, appearing on dozens of tracks with other artists, including Mary J. Blige's hit, What's the 411? He was also leaving a mark with his personal style, especially through his fondness for sporting Tommy Hilfiger.
He was the beginning of urban fashion in the 90s. You wanted to see what Poobah had on because he had the latest on.
So I remember Tommy Hilfiger coming to the Bronx in the 600 Benz. He had all the Hilfiger clothes, and he gave everything to Pooh-Bah.
I was grateful and happy and all of that, like appreciative and loved the energy. I was achieving my goal.
While Grand Pooh-Bah's star was rising, Lord Jamar and Sadat X were making new music of their own.
We couldn't wait to get to the second album, where this is all our own material, without Pooh-Bah. No one's gonna say, where's Pooh-Bah?
Now backed by DJ Sincere, they produced a new album called In God We Trust.
It was a little bit edgier, definitely a little more radical in terms of the lyrics. It was a little darker than the first album.
Released in 1993, the album's more militant tone was showcased on their first single, Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down.
One day when I was riding on the train, I seen these two kids talking about the Nubian rain had fallen.
That first line of that song really was indicative of what was going on at that
I
time.
could rock a jam, make the world drop hammer. Yes, I'm the bad man, and bad men were black. And if it comes to dropping bombs, hey, it with that.
People thought Brand Nubian had fallen off and wouldn't be able to do anything without Grand Pooh-Bah.
Punks Step Up to Get Beat Down is just hype. The track is insane. The horns. It's in your face, but with swag. You know?
Your punk ass will be grass quick fast like my name was Flash when a sucker tried to rob me from a cash. You thought you had a sweet Vic, nice pick, but you didn't anticipate that I might be sick.
Ignorance.
Under pressure, the group changed the lyrics. Their next release had a much softer tone.
You gotta love me or leave me alone. Love me or leave me alone. You gotta love me or leave me alone.
Love Me or Leave Me Alone was a smooth melody. It was a little R&B twist with it, and I think that's what made it unique. It wasn't something that we had done.
Hey, yo, Jamal, I got a girl that's bad. But she don't understand my ways. Arguing days after days after days.
Hip hop is notorious for its macho and sometimes misogynistic culture.
See, I done had some fly ones, but they try to get just that. Thought I'd like to chase the cat, but I'm not a dog goddess who you're looking at.
Love Me or Leave Me Alone is more vulnerable.
You gotta love me or leave me alone. You gotta love me or leave me alone.
In God We Trust rose to number 4 on the R&B hip-hop albums chart and even reached the pop top 20.
It ended up being Retribution, something that, you know, we're very proud of.
A year later, Brand Nubian was back with Everything Is Everything, but the album produced only one top 20 rap hit. Elektra released Brand Nubian from their deal, and the group disbanded. And in the years to come, some members of the group would find a rough road ahead.
The jury was out, the jig was up. Like, he was incredibly irresponsible.
I'm seeing wild police shooting up the block. I'm like, damn, they looking for somebody.
After 6 years, Brand Nubian's run was over. Now, each member was focused on solo endeavors and growing families. Sadat X released his first solo album, Wild Cowboys, in 1996.
Did a lot of shows here and overseas. You know what I'm saying? I stayed working off of that album.
Lord Jamar began developing other acts, including another conscious hip-hop group, Dead Prez.
He opened his home. He adopted us like, you know, nephews. So it was more than just getting us signed. It was like A&Ring and kind of just building our experience professionally.
Grand Poobah released his sophomore CD 2000, but none of the singles made the rap top 20. Some felt the decline was due to his own negligence behind the scenes.
He was incredibly irresponsible. Never went on a 16-city promo tour. So on the 2000 album, the jury was out, the jig was up.
Realistically, I'm not even getting no money off this album. I'm getting like 20 cents maybe. They getting like $9. Like, you sitting in the AC and want me to live off of per diem like $30 a day. That wasn't me, I couldn't do it.
Brian Austin Green from 90210. Loved Poobah. Wanted to get Poobah to come on the show. Poobah was like, F that. I'm not going on that show, play myself out with them devils. He always wanted to be for the people.
Listen, if I change who I am for the sake of getting this paper, what is that? That's selling your soul. Like, I can't consciously do that.
Grand Poobah asked to be released from Elektra. For the next 2 years, each member of Brand Nubian remained on his own. Then in '97, Grand Poobah, Sadat X, Lord Jamar, and DJ Alamo decided to get back together.
Jeff Dixon, Poobah's cousin, he was like, yo, y'all need to stop the bull. Y'all need to come together. Now we had made that transition of respect. Like, Poobah has to respect us for what we've done without his presence.
We wasn't on the greatest terms when we split, but as men, you analyze like, yo, come on, whatever, let's just do this. It was the love and it's the magic that you create together, like, you know what I'm saying?
Brand Nubian signed with Arista Records and dropped their reunion album, Foundation, in 1998, led by a single called Don't Let It Go to Your Head.
Now a lot of people think this is easy as it looks. Books and books and rhyme concepts and hooks. Session to session to get thoughts manifesting. Stressing and stressing to hit the world with a blessing.
It's a beautiful song. The track was fire, it was soulful. And it was also wisdom from MCs who lived it.
Working so hard and so long to make a record. Finally to make a song people respect it. Collect the dough at a show as you sip the mo. Now you hitting the flow you never hit before.
You had talking about life, talking about the industry that they didn't necessarily go into before, but now they're maturing. It brought everything back.
The ladies, they ain't no question, but you can't tell her that, cause sometimes she speed and put her hand out. Like I'm that ATM cat, drop me off a chase. Earring in the navel like she sexual. If you lay up in my high rise, will you stay wise? Will I slay thighs? Open your eyes, girl.
Don't Let It Go to Your Head climbed to number 3 on the rap charts.
The feeling of camaraderie was back. Don't Let It Go to Your Head. It marked the return of the Nubians.
But the reunion was short-lived. After the single's release, Clive Davis was ousted from Arista and replaced with L.A. Reid. The label then dropped several acts, including Brand Nubian.
There was a lot of pressure to really hit it out of the park with a bunch of big pop records. There were artists that suffered in the crossfire, unfortunately. That happened to the guys.
It's hard to go through these bumps over and over again and still feel like you have the full enthusiasm to keep doing it.
Once again, the group went their separate ways. Grand Poobah and Sadat X continued to release new solo albums. But things would come to a halt for Sadat, who was again splitting his time between music and the streets. He was arrested in December of 2005 after police were tipped off that he was carrying a weapon.
I'm coming down Broadway, and I'm seeing wild police shooting up the block. And I'm like, damn, they looking for somebody. They come right up on me. They're like, where's that? And I'm like, what you talking about? So they, you know, they go in my pocket, pull out the gun. They like, yo, where you got this? I'm like, yo, I found it.
Sadat X was convicted of weapons possession and sentenced to 1 year at Rikers Island in New York.
That was unbelievable. Like, I couldn't even believe that this is even real. Like, my dude Sadat is going to jail? That's crazy.
I saw a fight every day at Rikers Island. There wasn't no creativity. You know, some dudes wanted me to rhyme. I was like, what am I rhyme about, yo? Being around y'all all day? Looking at dudes all day? I ain't want to come home writing a bunch of jail rhymes because I'm not proud of that. It's taken me till now to wash away that stigma. This is my wine, True Wine Connoisseurs. This is a plug. This right here is a good wine for you to have if you're still eating red meats like that, or like pasta dishes. And it's good, like...
But it also goes good with like Popeyes.
Popeyes, Kentucky
Roy
Fried,
Rogers.
a slice.
Yeah.
Something from the ox store.
It's versatile. Yeah,
you know
it's versatile.
And
very versatile.
It's good with the ladies, fellas. Natural stimulant.
Cheers.
You gotta understand, I'm a man with needs and needs folk finish. And if you ain't with it, somebody else is winning. You gotta love me and leave me alone.
2017.
Leave me alone.
In the city of brotherly love, Brand Nubian takes the stage.
You gotta love me and leave me alone, bro.
We've been doing this for a long time, for a lot of years, and our show is one of our strong points.
You gotta love me and leave me alone.
Following their release from Arista Records, Brand Nubian spent 4 years apart before reuniting again. And since then, they've continued to release new music and perform together.
On stage, it's a dynamic. They never missed a beat, basically. We're talking over 20 years of history right here. Behind the stage, we're waiting for Puba. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he's never missed a show.
When we do shows, I mean, we got a generation that we raised. And then there's people that's getting hip to us now.
And individually, each MC has been thriving. Lord Jamar released his first solo effort, the 5% album, in 2006. He also transitioned into acting, appearing on shows like Oz and The Night Of. But today, most know him as a regular outspoken guest on Vlad TV.
Yeah, I know I could get myself in trouble for saying a lot of shit, but I don't give a okay? I'm gonna say what I have to say. Okay. White rappers, you're coming to this almost as a guest, okay? Matter of fact, you are guests in the house of hip hop.
Jamal is like the dude in the barbershop, you know? And he's gonna be like, nah, this is how it is. And this is my feeling on it.
Just because you have a hit record doesn't give you the right, as I feel, to voice your opinion.
I know how it's supposed to be. You come into the country, I gotta look at your passport. Don't come into hip-hop with fake passports. If I decide that you're worthy of a stamp, you'll get one. I'm that guy at the border, okay? Who appointed me? Me.
As for Sadat X, after being released from jail in 2007, he teamed up with producer Will Tell to make new music, which led to a surprising opportunity.
We drink a lot of Hennessy recording. One day, we ran out of Hennessy, and he had some wine.
So I was like, mess around and do a commercial with the wine. I filmed it, and I put it on YouTube, and everyone just started bugging out.
God for negro, the black cat. That's what it is. Let's have a taste test. A taste test. Super genius.
The video went viral, and soon after, Sadat and Will Tell created a YouTube series called True Wine Connoisseurs and started their own brand of wine in 2009.
I would drink the bottle of wine and review it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Woo, that's what it is right there.
What's the up factor on that, Gino?
That factor over here may be 9.
Yeah, it's like it's rugged right there, man. That looks rugged. Then people start hitting back and was like, I own a wine company, this, that. If I sent you my wine, would you review it? Clang, 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 clang. This is metal right here, understand? This is an award winner. This is the Unsung Bolt of wines right here.
We started getting a lot of press about us pioneering like a lighter side to wine drinking.
I don't know what this thing right here is that you pour the wine into, but with me, I finish mine.
A lot of their fans on the wine side
never even knew who Sadat X was before all of this. So it's really nice that, you know, he's now gotten a whole nother fan base from this.
Grand Poobah continues to make music while focusing on his 7 children, including his son, who is already following in his footsteps.
Stunner Gang, a.k.a. we in New York, New Rochelle, my pops, Grand Poobah, my siblings.
It's all about the babies. That's what we do. That's how we do. You know what I'm saying? And it's the next generation, and you got to take it to the next level. Just having fun, living, raising the babies, raising the kids, living life, happy.
With a stunt and a mouth with spots.
Grand Nubian is one of the most lyrically talented
I'm not a junior, try to see me catch a bull.
and culturally aware groups you will ever hear of.
They're a huge part of how the ball got moved forward and how the bar got raised for what it means to be a hip-hop artist and a black artist.